Should we... Ooh, I might get rid of Therian. Therian doesn't really add much at the moment. If I have to decide, I'm getting rid of Therian. Yes. I think I know now who stole that tome. Perhaps I should go have a little chat with him, just to make sure that we all understand one another. His name is Cyrus, and he is a scholar. This is Atlas Dam, nestled in the fertile plains of the Flatlands. It is home to the Royal Academy, where many a scholar studies night and day to bring the light of knowledge to the royal family and to all of the realm. He passes his days in the halls of the great library, devouring tome after tome to his heart's content. It is in that library where he learns of a grievous theft. Certain that one of his fellow scholars is the culprit, Cyrus sets out alone, not really, to confront the man in his shadowy subterranean study. He will need wise allies on the path he has chosen. And I shall be those allies. Take Cyrus along, travel to other areas may be restricted. Yes, absolutely. I will replace him with Therian. I can't replace Ophelia because I'm playing as Ophelia, and I can't replace Honnet because she was my starting character. So we will replace Therian. Therian, I'm sorry to say you get the shaft, but that's the way of the world. Perfect. Here, the beginning of the tale. Oh, absolutely.
And so it was that Atlasdam was founded some 2 centuries ago. Indeed, our fair city-state is among the longest standing on the continent of Austera. But there was another city-state with a history as long and proud as our own that came to a tragic ruin only 8 short years ago. Now, who can tell me its name? How about you, Cyrus?
I think it was...
Now, no need to get all flustered. There's no shame in not knowing an answer, so long as you have a desire to learn. The answer is in your textbook. Go on now, look it up.
Yes, Professor. Let's see. I believe it was Hornburg?
That is correct. Hornburg was ruled over by a royal family, said to be descended from priests of an ancient and long-forgotten religion. On the other hand, our fair Atlasdam was founded by one of the original clans that inhabited the Flatlands. Who can tell me how many clans lived in the Flatlands at the time? Your Highness?
The histories have it that 8 clans did live in the Flatlands in those days.
Correct you are, Your Highness. It was a time of great strife here in the Flatlands as the 8 clans waged a long and bitter war. Change would come when the armies of Grandport invaded these lands some 2 centuries ago. At the time, the rulers of Grandport sought to exert their influence over territories inland. Ironically, this compelled the warring tribes to put aside their differences and unite against their common foe. Oh, but look at the time. We'll pick up where we left off next time. Don't forget to read chapters 3 and 4 before our next lecture. And be prepared to answer questions on any of the material within.
Yes, Professor.
Thank you for another most stimulating lecture, Professor Albright.
Hello?
Yeah, Professor Albright. Mercedes from the Royal Library came with a message for you. Seems today yours a lucky day. You've been granted permission to enter the special archives. Oh, really?
Splendid!
Finally, I can begin my research at last. I love reading old books. Everything about old books sets my heart ablaze. The library is just outside the palace. I'd best make haste. And Make haste. We shall. Of course we do. Make for the library. But I want to admire the chairs for... I have a cape. Oh, we're never replacing Therian with Cyrus. Or we are never replacing Cyrus with Therian. People's names confuse me. Why do I even bother? To be completely honest, I've forgotten Her Highness's name, like, a long time ago, and I've been terrified to ask anyone what her actual name is, so I always just refer to her as Her Highness, which is, you know, a bit kind of scary, because if I ever mess up, we're in a bit of trouble. Cyrus, are you waiting for me? Professor? Oh God, Her Highness. Yes, Your Highness. No one can know. Oh, thank heavens you're still here. I thought I had missed you.
Your Highness.
What can I do for you, Your Highness?
The truth of the matter is...
If you could spare the time, I had a question about something we learned today.
But of course.
Of course, Your Highness. It would be my pleasure to answer any question you might have. After all, my role as your tutor is as important to me as any of my research. Unfortunately, I cannot spare much time. Is the question a quick one?
Indeed.
Yes, Professor. It won't take long at all. I was just wondering about the ancient religion of Hornburg. Pray tell, what did they worship exactly?
Very astute of you.
A very astute question, Your Highness. However, I fear that nearly all of the texts detailing the nature of the religion were burned and lost when Hornburg fell. I see. A shame that.
The truth is...
I do, however, have a theory of my own. I believe that the royal family of Hornburg were guardians of an ancient power. Mind you, this is not idle speculation. My theory is based on the fact that...
Oh.
Therese, you are allowed to be included in these conversations, you know. I kind of just try and look over and wink at her, like, you could join in if you want. Therese is sad. We need to... If Cyrus was a good teacher, he would recognize this fact. Let us continue the discussion another time. My apologies for keeping you, Professor.
With pleasure.
No need for apologies, and it would be my pleasure, Your Highness. Having such high-level intellectual conversations with someone of your caliber is always a treat. Normally I have to deal with dense, stupid students at the academy, and they never ask the right questions. They're always going on, trying to avoid my gaze when I'm like, does anyone have any questions? And they always turn away. It's always so difficult to deal with such students. Unlike with you, you're very astute. Such questions occur to you as a sign of sharp and curious mind.
Why, thank you.
Your lectures on the history of the realm are most fascinating to me. For if I do not learn of our past, how can I hope to lead my people to a brighter future?
Indeed.
A most admirable philosophy, Your Highness. Well said indeed. The people of this land are truly fortunate to be led by one of such wisdom and kindness. As I am truly fortunate to have the opportunity to serve in some small way. You are far too kind, Professor Albright. I am proud to be your student.
Ah,
Oh dear, I'm running late. I have to get to my
Good day.
library appointment. I am apparently allowed to visit the secret archives, and I have an immense desire to read one specific book. Apparently it goes by the name of The Lusty Argonian Maid. I have heard very good things about the penmanship and the detailed descriptions. But, regardless, that is not for your ears. Pray, do not forget your assignment, Your Highness.
Farewell.
Of course, Professor. I'll leave you to your readings. Cyrus, you're not allowed to leave without talking to Therese.
ah, Therese.
Oh, hello there, Therese. She tried to strike up a conversation with you for like
Yes,
20 minutes
you
and
have
you've
a
just been
question.
ignoring her. Did you have a question for me as well?
No.
I mean, no. Good day, Professor. Indeed. The tone of a curious man. But questions for later. For right now, we must make way to the library. We have an appointment that we cannot miss under any circumstances. Into the library.
It's me, Cyrus.
Good day, Mercedes. Cyrus Albright here to browse the special archives. Oh, Professor Albright, you're looking quite eager today. When I heard that an original copy of The Church of the Flame, a complete history, had been donated to the archives, I simply had to be the first to see it.
I see.
You're more on top of our collection than I am. Just sign here.
With pleasure.
To sign my initials with the little flourish, as always. Is something amiss?
Actually,
For someone known as the most brilliant mind in the Royal Academy, when you talk about books, you're as giddy as a schoolboy. Well, when you put it that way, I suppose that is quite true. Much as a child is fascinated by a new toy, I am positively titillated by the prospect of acquiring new knowledge. Oh, you and Alphen are going to get along like a house on fire. Right. The expression on your face says it all. The shine and the twinkle in your eyes, oh, I remember it from my own younger days. Anyway, everything seems to be in order. Enjoy your quest for knowledge, Professor.
Many thanks.
Many thanks indeed, my dear. I most certainly will. The secret tomes that lie within the basement.
What have we here?
How odd. The tome is nowhere to be found. Did someone return it to the wrong shelf? Not here either.
An interesting dilemma.
These archives are strictly guarded and curated. Wherever could it have gone?
Professor Albright.
Professor, the headmaster would like to see you at once. Of all the types to... Oh well. Might I ask a favor of you, Mercedes? What might that be?
The truth is...
The tome I had mentioned before seems to have gone missing. Would you be able to locate it for me?
I see.
Missing? Of course, I'll begin looking at once, Professor.
Many thanks.
Many thanks indeed, my dear. Book by book. This is why we keep things in alphabetical order, rather than
Cyrus
arranged by
Albright,
color.
By your request, sir.
Do enter.
Such a big door. Why do we have such big doors?
My apologies for summoning you on such short notice.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that, Headmaster Vaughn. Headmaster Vaughn Yvonne. I was just, it's not like I was in the middle of organizing an expedition to the depths of the library and the special archives to organize reading a very unique tome or anything like that. You're not cutting into my special appointment time, not at all.
How might I be of assistance, Headmaster?
That treatise on arcane studies you published. What in the gods' names were you thinking?
Sir? I do believe I made my hypothesis perfectly clear.
I'm not talking about your hypothesis.
If you're not talking about my hypothesis, what are you talking about? Queen's Englishman, please speak it.
You went out of your way to cite one of the texts in our special archives.
Is that not allowed? I was under the impression that as the royal tutor of the princess herself, I was afforded special privileges, and that is, of course, citing the special archives.
The knowledge housed in those tomes is the Royal Academy's greatest treasure.
And what's the point of having that knowledge if it is not disseminated out and used? It's currently just sitting gathering dust, accomplishing nothing. Knowledge like that is worthless.
It is not to be divulged to the public at your whim. Laying it bare in one of your silly papers is out of the question.
I respectfully disagree, Headmaster.
I am fully aware of the value of those tomes, Headmaster. It is for that very reason I would share the knowledge with my peers.
You are to share nothing. That wisdom is for the Academy and the Academy alone.
Now see, this is a difference of opinion that I cannot stand, Headmaster. As the tutor to Her Royal Highness, I absolutely outrank you, and I can do with the knowledge as I please.
But that goes against everything.
Enough, Cyrus!
Even my best argument is sure to fall on deaf ears.
Well, the Headmaster is not a man who's keen on listening, I'm afraid.
The Headmaster sees knowledge as a medal or precious stone, something to be appreciated by its rightful owner alone. Knowledge is power, and power is to be hoarded. An unfortunate attitude, indeed.
Most unfortunate.
My sincere apologies, Headmaster. It won't happen again. Is there anything else you need of me?
That is all. You may go. Wait, there was one last thing.
Oh? And what was that, Headmaster?
Sir?
I heard the special archives will be closing early today. If you have research to do there, I would do so quickly.
How did you know that I had reserved a time, shall we say, at the archives? It was never made public.
Good gods. It's as if he enjoys watching me suffer.
Such is the power of the Headmaster. It's gone to its head. It's completely gone to his head.
Thank you for your concern, Headmaster. In that case, I'll be on my way.
And I'll swoosh my purple cape as I leave.
Enter.
Excuse me.
Therese.
What's the matter?
What is it, Therese? It's about Professor Albright, sir. An ominous feeling has just tingled up my spine. Most curious.
Hello there.
This is the Royal Academy, Atlas Dam's pride and joy.
Sure is rain.
We've already got that song and dance. We need to get to the special archives. If I have a limited amount of time, I'm not wasting it. We'll have to ask Mercedes if she's
Can I
found the
help
book.
you?
Ah, Professor Albright. Mercedes, have you found the book?
A moment of your time.
Did you have any luck finding the tome?
My apologies.
I'm afraid not.
Say it is not so.
Well, this is most unfortunate. One might conclude that it had been stolen.
Actually,
Professor, taking books out from these archives is strictly forbidden. And as you know, the keys to the vault are entrusted only to a select few. Quite honestly, it would be easier to steal the crown off of the king's head. Well, given how easily I accessed the throne room, that's probably not saying a lot.
Aho!
An impregnable vault, a disappearing tome. It would seem we have quite the mystery on our hands. And the mysteries of the world are meant to be solved. Or so the scholar in me says. Would you not agree? If it had been stolen, I would say it's a job for the city guard. But I can see you won't let it go until you've cracked the case, as it were.
Indeed.
Ah, you could say that, absolutely. A habit I just can't seem to break. Once a puzzle is placed before me, I simply cannot rest until I've worked out a solution.
I see.
Well, far be it from me to stand in your way. It must be tough being a genius.
Leave it to me.
Well, not to toot my own horn, of course, but I mean, it's not exactly a walk in the park. I'll not deny it. Worry not, though. The tome will be back on the shelf before you can bat a single eyelash. Here, take this baseball bat.
Take care.
You can try and hit the eyelashes as many times as you want. I don't recommend going over 50 of them, because by the time you reach the 50th eyelash, your eyes will look rather barren of hair, and that would just make you look quite strange. Thank you for that advice, Cyrus. It's a good bit of advice, I guess. But anyway, good luck in your search.
Time to do some research.
And the game is afoot. It's like that one game with the feet. Now, where to begin? I suppose I should inquire with Mercedes as to where the keys of the library are stored. We were just... Why didn't you ask her when we were inside the library? The guard at the front door would know who has been frequenting the library lately, as might my fellow scholars. Then, mayhap, I should pay the headmaster a visit as well. What kind of path actions does Cyrus have? Cyrus can scrutinize and glean new knowledge from the townspeople. How very interesting. Let's see now. Aged 41. Testimony. Of course I've got a key to the archives, and no, I wasn't sleeping. I was resting my eyes is all. But even if I was sleeping, what would it matter? What kind of fool would bother stealing a worthless tome anyway? Probably someone who values knowledge, or values knowledge getting into the wrong hands. Wrong by my standards. Most intriguing. My peer, can we have a scrutinizing chat? Let's see now. Age 30, testimony. The key to the archives? Oh, I haven't gotten that. But I'm not surprised someone stole a tome, considering what they're worth. I've gambling debts myself, so I understand the temptation. Oh, poor Russell. Russell and his gambling debts. This is what I'm talking about. Like, all of these people. I have a feeling that there is literally not a single therapist in all of Orstera, because if there was even a single therapist, or anyone even remotely qualified to listen to people's problems, all of these people would have someone to go to. Because, like, every single person, it seems like, that we talk to is literally more than willing to trauma dump all over our face. Like, they can take their invigorating nuts, their nourishing nuts, their defensive nuts, all of the types of nuts that you can find in the world, and they can trauma dump those nuts all over our face. It's like, yeah, I got gambling debts. Oh yeah, I was a bandit. and I murdered people for 60 years, and it's like, oh yeah, my daughter's adopted. Oh, it's like this 9-year-old child. I'm absolutely just a thief, and the queen knows I'm a thief, but she doesn't do anything to help because she's a horrible person. It's like all of this. It's just trauma dump after trauma dump after trauma dump. Russell, you're not special. But I'm not going to tell any of that to your face because that would just be rude. Yo, Mercedes, can we scrutinize you and your testimony? Age 21, Mercedes. Only Headmaster Yvonne and the guard stationed outside should have a key to the library archives. Well, the guard would probably be easily pickpocketed. And, well, the headmaster is a bit of a D-hole. Anyway, only the headmaster and the guard possess the keys to the special archive. Can we have another chat? Russell just isn't cut out for that sort of work. Whatever was he? Anyway, move along. Move along, sir. We have to go chat. Oh, can we not scrutinize you? Let's see now. Once in charge of protecting the king. Oh, this is not a testimony. I've already inquired with all of you. We need to have a scrutinizing chat with the headmaster. None of you want to have a chat? None of you want to have a chat? I can't scrutinize any of you? I want to scrutinize my peers. I want to silently judge them. Why can I not silently judge my peers? Headmaster. What is it this time, Cyrus? Well, I'd like to have a conversation with you about the tomes. Let's see now. You know full well I have a key to the special archives, and that I would never be so foolish as to let it fall into the wrong hands. In any event, I have had no reason to peruse those tomes in quite some time. Most intriguing. He has a key, that is true, but the dust gathered suggests that it has not been used recently.
Splendid.
That should be all the information I need to solve the case. Should it? What information are we just randomly piecing together with this? Who possesses the key to the archive? Russell and the librarian. No, it's the headmaster and the guard, of course.
But of course.
It all makes sense now. There are only 2 keys to the archives, one belonging to the headmaster and one to the guardsman. Whose key was used to unlock the archives? Most certainly the guards. The headmaster's key is safely locked away in his office. Furthermore, he hasn't visited the archives today or in quite some time, as his testimony outlines. On the other hand, the guard has been acting quite suspicious of late, even sleeping while on active duty.
Oh.
It would be all too easy as a task to lift the key off of his person. So, is it possible that the guard is our man? It's not impossible.
No.
Though he would have no motive. The culprit must be someone who understands the true value of the tome. Which is to say, one of my colleagues. And most likely one who has accrued a frightful gambling debt.
Which means that...
Put it all together and our villain is... The culprit is Russell. I always knew ever since he came back from South America with that old man and the balloons that he was doing some shady business. No one gets that many scout badges without some, underhanded tactics.
Yes.
Indubitably, that shifty scholar Russell. Yes, I dare say my logic is foolproof.
Shall we begin?
Now, all that remains is to find our man and make him confess to the crime. Let's hunt down Russell, break his kneecaps, and extract the truth from him one way or another. Word has it he's been doing his research underground these days. With the secret mining entrance.
Now then.
I think it's time I did some field work of my own. And so I have taken it upon myself to investigate this suspicious scholar. Interested in coming along, are you? It seems you have quite the curious streak yourself. But of course, mysteries exist only to be solved. After all, it is the utmost importance to remember that. Ah, but there I go again. Don't let me talk your ear off. But, admittedly, I would be quite glad for your help. Having a cleric of the Sacred Flame would be most fortuitous if we're going to a dangerous underground facility. Let's get right to business then. No doubt we'll find Russell in his blub blub laboratory, blub blub down blub blub below blub blub. Cyrus, join the party. Make for the subterranean study. We will absolutely do that as soon as we make sure Cyrus is taking the lead. Who? Equipment? No. How do I... A formation. Cyrus, you're level 1, and Ophelia is level 9. Having... What is Cyrus actually good at? Cyrus, what do you do? What is your equipment like? Wait, Cyrus, you only have staves? Ophelia and Cyrus only have staves? Well, that's not good. Lovely. Wait, we have a buckler for you. Is that... Oh, the elusive shield. Oh, Haunted has the elusive shield. Oh, yeah, we should probably get you some better clothes at some point. I guess we... No. Wow, we don't have any... I need to build up my stock of money. For right now, well, Cyrus, you're gonna have to, take the lead and hope for the best, I suppose. Let's go down there. Into the bottom place.